When I handed my brother eviction papers for moving into my house while I was away, my mom cried, "You can't do this to your family." So I replied, "Family doesn't steal from family," and call it sacrifice. Some background. I've been working remotely as a software developer for the past 3 years. I saved aggressively and bought a modest 3-bedroom house in our hometown. Nothing fancy, but it's mine, and I've spent the last 2 years making it exactly how I want it. My home office setup is perfect for my work. I've got a garden I'm proud of, and I finally feel like a real adult with my own space. My older brother, Michael, 29 Unimil, has always been the golden child. He married his college sweetheart, Jennifer, 28 Universal, 5 years ago, and they have 2 kids, Olivia, 4 Universal, and Henry, 2 Univerman. They've been renting a 2-bedroom apartment about 30 minutes away, always talking about saving for a house, but somehow never quite getting there. I love my niece and nephew, but I've noticed my brother has expensive tastes. New cars, designer clothes for the kids, vacation every few months. Last Sunday, my parents invited me over for what they called a family meeting. I assumed it was about planning for the holidays, or maybe discussing my grandmother's care. Instead, I walked into what felt like an intervention. My dad started with, "Robert, we need to talk about your living situation." I immediately thought they were going to lecture me about finding a girlfriend or something. But no. It was so much worse. My mom jumped in. "Since you work from home, you don't really need a permanent address, do you? You could work from anywhere. Coffee shops, co-working spaces, even different countries." I laughed because I thought they were joking. They weren't. My dad continued, "Your brother's family is really cramped in that apartment. The kids need their own rooms, and Jennifer needs space for her craft business. We were thinking, since you're location independent, maybe you could try out the digital nomad lifestyle for a while and let Michael's family use your house as their home base while they continue saving." I sat there, stunned. They were seriously suggesting I give up my house that I bought, that I pay the mortgage on, so my brother could live there. "But it's my house," I said, still not quite believing this was happening. "I have an entire office set up. My life is here." My mom waved her hand dismissively. "Oh, Robert, you're young. This could be an adventure. Think of all the places you could see, the experiences you could have. Your generation is all about experiences over possessions, right?" Plus, my dad added, it would just be temporary, maybe 6 months to a year while they save up for their own place. You'd still own the house, of course. I asked the obvious question. Why can't they just continue renting while they save? The look my parents exchanged told me everything. My brother was there, suddenly coming in from the kitchen where he'd apparently been waiting. "Rob, man, the rental market is insane right now. Our landlord is raising the rent by $500 next month. With what we'd pay in rent, we could almost cover your mortgage payment. It would help both of us. You'd have someone taking care of your place while you travel, and we'd finally be able to save properly." "I don't want to travel," I said flatly. "I want to live in my house. The house I bought specifically so I could work from home comfortably." Jennifer appeared then, Olivia on her hip. "Uncle Robbie, don't you want your niece to have her own princess room?" Olivia looked at me with those big eyes, and I felt like I was being emotionally manipulated by a 4-year-old. The conversation devolved from there. My parents kept insisting that I was being selfish, that family helps family, that I was wasting a 3-bedroom house on just myself. They threw out phrases like digital nomad and location independence, like they just discovered these concepts and couldn't understand why I wasn't thrilled about suddenly adopting this lifestyle. My brother tried the buddy approach. "Come on, Rob. Remember when we were kids and talked about traveling the world? This could be your chance. I'd totally do it if I didn't have the kids, right?" The kids he chose to have in the apartment he chose to rent, with the money he chose to spend on everything except saving for a house. I left after an hour of this, saying I needed time to think, but I already know my answer is no. I worked hard for my house. I love my house. I don't want to be a nomad, digital or otherwise. I want to water my tomatoes and drink coffee in my kitchen and sleep in my own bed. But now I'm getting texts from all of them. My mom sent me articles about digital nomadism. My dad sent me a spreadsheet showing how much money I could save without utility bills, ignoring that I'd have to pay for accommodation everywhere I went. My brother sent me photos of co-working spaces in Bali, as if that's supposed to convince me. Am I crazy for not wanting to give up my house? They're making me feel like I'm some kind of selfish monster for wanting to live in the home I bought. How do I make them understand that just because I can work from anywhere doesn't mean I want to? Edit to everyone asking. Yes, the house is 100% in my name. I put down 20% and have never missed a mortgage payment. My brother has never contributed a dime to this house. Edit 2. Just got a text from my mom. Your brother viewed the house today while you were at the coffee shop. The kids love the backyard. Olivia picked out which room would be hers. We should talk about the transition timeline soon. They went to my house without telling me. Update 1. 2 weeks later. I can't believe I'm back here so soon, but things have escalated beyond what I ever imagined possible. First, thank you to everyone who responded to my original post. Your comments gave me the confidence to stand firm. I sent a clear message to my family. I will not be leaving my house. This is not up for discussion. Please respect my decision. That should have been the end of it. It wasn't. Last Monday, I came home from a rare in-office meeting to find my brother's car in my driveway. Inside, I found Michael, Jennifer, and both kids. They had suitcases. They were unpacking in my guest room. "What the hell are you doing?" I demanded. Michael looked at me with this sheepish expression. "Hey, Rob, so funny story. Our landlord actually gave us a 30-day notice. He's selling the apartment. Mom said you were cool with us crashing here temporarily while we figure things out." Mom said, "What?" I was seeing red. "I explicitly told all of you no. This is breaking and entering." Jennifer started crying. Actually crying. "Robert, please, we have nowhere else to go. It's just for a few weeks while we find another rental. The kids are so excited to have a backyard. Please don't make us leave tonight." Olivia and Henry were looking at me with confused expressions. Olivia asked, "Uncle Robbie, can we stay in your house? Mommy said we could play in the garden." I felt like the world's biggest villain, but I held firm. "You can stay tonight. One night. Tomorrow, you need to find somewhere else." I called my parents immediately. My mom answered with, "Oh, good. Did Michael arrive safely?" "You told them I agreed to this." "Robert, don't be dramatic. Family helps family. It's just temporary." I said, "No. This is my house." My dad got on the phone. "Son, don't raise your voice to your mother. Your brother is in a tough spot. Surely you can share for a little while. Think of the children." I hung up on them. That night was awkward beyond belief. I ordered pizza because Jennifer was too stressed to cook, and Michael was too exhausted from moving. The kids ran around my house like it was a playground. Olivia spilled juice on my couch. Henry grabbed at my work laptop with sticky fingers. I tried to work in my office, but I could hear everything through the walls. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of breakfast. Jennifer was in my kitchen making pancakes. "Good morning, Robert. I thought I'd make your favorite breakfast as a thank you." My favorite breakfast is a protein shake. I don't even like pancakes. Michael was in the living room, his gaming console already hooked up to my TV. "Hey, bro. Hope you don't mind. I figured since we'll be here a few weeks, might as well get comfortable." "You're not staying a few weeks. You're leaving today." He laughed. Actually laughed. "Come on, Rob. Where are we supposed to go? Hotels are expensive, and Mom and Dad's place is too small. It's just temporary." That word, temporary. I was starting to hate it. I went to my office and started working, but concentration was impossible. Olivia kept knocking on my door, wanting to show me drawings. Jennifer was redecorating my guest room. Michael was on my couch playing video games with the volume cranked up. By noon, I'd had enough. I came out and announced, "I'm calling a family meeting. My house, my rules." I laid out the terms. 1, they had 1 week to find alternative accommodation. 2, they would not move any of my furniture or belongings. 3, they would not give anyone else keys or access to my house. 4, they would respect my work hours, 8 to 5, and keep noise to a minimum. 5, they would contribute to utilities and groceries. Michael scoffed at the last one. "Bro, we're saving for a house. We can't afford extra expenses right now." "Then you can't afford to stay here." Jennifer intervened. "We can contribute a little, maybe $200 a month." Their rent had been $2,000. They wanted to live in my house for $200. $800, non-negotiable. Plus half of all utilities and your own groceries. They exchanged looks. "That's almost what we were paying in rent," Michael protested. "Then you should have no problem affording it." They reluctantly agreed, though though Michael muttered something about family not charging family. The week passed in a blur of boundary violations. Despite my clear rules, Jennifer rearranged my kitchen to be more efficient. Michael set up a workspace in my living room because the Wi-Fi is better here. The kids drew on my walls with markers. "It's washable," Jennifer chirped, as if that made it okay. On day 6, I asked about their housing search. Michael waved vaguely. "Yeah, we're looking. Market's tough right now." I checked his browser history on my laptop. He'd been using it without permission. ESPN, Reddit, YouTube, not a single apartment listing site. Day 7 came and went. They didn't leave. "We need just a little more time," Jennifer pleaded. "We viewed some places, but they weren't suitable for the kids." I gave them 3 more days, then 3 more. Each time, there was an excuse. Too expensive. Too far from Michael's work. Not in a good school district. Olivia is 4. It's now been 2 weeks. They've completely taken over my house. My office has become Olivia's playroom. She needs a space for her toys, Jennifer explained, as if that justified relocating my entire workspace to a corner of my bedroom. The guest room is fully decorated with their furniture. They've hung family photos in my hallway. Yesterday, I overheard Michael on the phone with someone. "Yeah, we're all settled in Rob's place. It's perfect. 3 bedrooms, big backyard. We're thinking of staying long-term if he'll let us. Way better than any apartment we could afford." I'm at my breaking point. They're not looking for housing. They're not saving money. Jennifer came home with new furniture yesterday because the kids needed proper beds. They're treating my house like it's theirs. But here's the kicker. My parents are fully supporting them. Every time I complain, I get, "It's just temporary. It's been 2 weeks." If family helps family, think of the children. Who thought of me? You have all that space to yourself because it's my house. My mom even suggested I could move into their basement apartment if I need space. Their basement apartment. So I should leave my house and live in my parents' basement while my brother lives in my house. I'm starting to feel like I'm going crazy. Everyone in my family is acting like I'm the unreasonable one. My brother posts on social media about being grateful for family support, with pictures of the kids in my backyard. Relatives comment about how wonderful it is that I'm helping out. I've started looking into legal eviction procedures in my state, since they've been here over a week and are receiving mail. Yes, they've already changed their address. They're considered tenants. I would have to give them 30 days notice. 30 more days. I can't work properly. I can't relax in my own home. I wake up to kids screaming and go to bed to the sound of Michael's gaming. My grocery bill has tripled. My utilities are through the roof. And they've paid me exactly $0 because we're still settling in. Tomorrow, I'm serving them with an official eviction notice. I'm sure this will cause a family explosion, but I don't care anymore. This is my house, bought with my money, for my life. I'm not a selfish monster for wanting to live in it. I'll update again when I have news. Wish me luck. Update 2. 3 months later. I know it's been a while since my last update, and honestly, I've been putting off writing this because I'm still processing everything that happened. Buckle up. This is going to be long. When I last updated, I was preparing to serve my brother with an eviction notice. I did it. I hired a lawyer, had the papers properly drawn up, and served them officially. The 30-day notice was dated October 15th, giving them until November 15th to vacate. The explosion I expected? It was nuclear. Michael laughed when I handed him the papers. Actually laughed. "You're not serious," he said, tossing them on my coffee table. "Mom and Dad said you were just being dramatic. This will blow over." Jennifer cried again, but this time it felt more manipulative than ever. How can you throw your own family out on the street? What kind of uncle does this to children? I held firm. The kind who wants to live in his own house. You have 30 days to find somewhere else. The first thing they did was call my parents. Within an hour, my phone was blowing up. My mom, my dad, aunts, uncles, cousins I hadn't spoken to in years. Everyone had an opinion about what a selfish, heartless person I was. My mom's text. "I'm disgusted by your behavior. Those children are your blood. Your brother is trying to provide for his family, and you're sabotaging him." My dad. "I didn't raise you to be this selfish. You're breaking your mother's heart." Aunt Patricia. "I heard what you're doing to poor Michael. Shameful. Families should support each other." Even my grandmother called, though she was more reasonable. "Robbie, dear, I understand it's your house, but couldn't you work something out?" I stopped answering my phone. The 30 days were the longest of my life. My brother and his wife switched tactics daily. Some days they'd be super sweet, cooking meals, cleaning badly, having the kids draw me pictures. Other days they'd be cold, making pointed comments about family values and selfishness. They also started a campaign of deliberate disruption, music at all hours, accidentally unplugging my router during important meetings, taking hour-long showers when they knew I needed to get ready for work. Jennifer started cooking fish, which she knows I hate, every single day. It's brain food for the kids. 2 weeks into the notice period, things got worse. I came home to find my locks had been changed. My locks on my house. Michael came to the door with a smirk. "Oh, hey, bro. Jennifer's been worried about safety with the kids, so we upgraded the locks. Don't worry, we made you a copy." He handed me a single key. I called the police. They said it was a civil matter, since Michael was a tenant. I called my lawyer. He said we could add it to the eviction case, but it wouldn't speed things up. I had to stay in a hotel that night because the key they gave me didn't work. "Oops," Michael said the next day. "Must have given you the wrong one." During this time, Jennifer started redecorating in earnest. She painted Olivia's room, my guest room, pink. Didn't ask, just did it. Put up wall decals. Hung a princess canopy over the bed. "It's temporary," she said when I confronted her. "We'll paint it back when we move." They weren't planning to move. November 1st, I heard Michael on a video call with his friends. "Yeah, Rob's being a dick about the house, but possession is 9/10 of the law, right? He can't actually force us out if we just don't leave. Not with the kids here. What judge is going to throw out 2 little kids?" That's when I realized they were planning to fight the eviction. I started documenting everything. Every conversation, every change to my house, every instance of them preventing me from normal use of my property. My lawyer said it was smart. We might need it. November 15th came. They didn't leave. "We need more time," Jennifer said. "We found a place, but it won't be ready until January." I asked for the address, the lease, any proof. They had nothing. I filed for formal eviction with the court. The court date was set for December 3rd. In the meantime, they got worse. My parents started showing up daily, trying to mediate. These mediations always ended with them telling me to be reasonable and give Michael more time. "Why should I?" I finally snapped at my mother. "Why is it my responsibility to house him? You have a house. Let them live with you." "Our house is too small," she said, as if that was a reasonable answer. "Besides, we're older. We can't handle the noise and chaos of young children." "But I can?" She actually said, "Well, you don't have a family of your own to worry about." The court date arrived. I thought it would be straightforward. I had all my documentation, clear lease violation, clear overstaying of notice. But Michael and Jennifer showed up with their own lawyer, funded, I learned later, by my parents. Their argument? They were victims of predatory lending and surprise eviction from their previous apartment. They had young children who would be homeless. They'd made improvements to my property, the unauthorized painting, and this was the kicker. They claimed I'd verbally agreed to let them stay indefinitely and was now reneging. They had witness statements from my parents saying they'd heard me agree to the arrangement. My own parents testified against me. The judge gave them an additional 60 days due to the presence of minor children and the upcoming holidays. 60 more days. I broke down in my car after court, not sad crying, rage crying, the kind where you can't breathe properly and your vision goes blurry. But here's where things shifted. Remember my grandmother who'd called earlier? She reached out again after hearing about the court case. "Robbie, come see me." Grandma Ellen is 82 and sharp as a tack. She sat me down with tea and cookies like I was 12 again. "Your parents are wrong," she said simply. "I've watched this dynamic your whole life. Michael gets, you give. It's not right." She told me things I'd never known. How my parents had used money she'd given them for my college fund to bail Michael out of credit card debt. How they pressured her to change her will to favor Michael because he has a family to support. How she'd refused. "I'm leaving my house to you," she said. "It's in the will already. Done. Because you're the only one in this family who understands the value of working for something." Then she did something that changed everything. She called my parents and tore them apart. I mean, really laid into them about favoritism, about enabling Michael's irresponsibility, about punishing me for being successful. It was glorious and terrifying. My parents were furious. But something in their dynamic shifted. Maybe it was shame. Maybe it was the threat of being cut off from her will. But they backed off a little. The 60 days continued to be hell. Michael and Jennifer knew they were leaving, so they stopped pretending to care about the house. Things got damaged accidentally. Always accidentally. A broken window, scratched floors, holes in walls from hanging pictures. I lived in my office essentially, showered at the gym, ate takeout in my car. I couldn't stand being in my own home. January 15th. Eviction day. They didn't leave willingly. I had to have sheriff's deputies remove them. Jennifer wailed about trauma to the children. Michael called me every name in the book. Olivia asked why Uncle Robbie was being mean. That hurt the most. They moved in with my parents. Suddenly, the house that was too small became adequate. Funny how that worked. The damage to my house was extensive. Beyond the visible stuff, they'd somehow damaged the plumbing, destroyed the garden, and left the place filthy. It took $12,000 and 3 weeks to get it back to livable. I sent them the bill. They laughed. I sued. My lawyer said we had a good case. Court date pending. The real plot twist came last week. My parents invited me to dinner. I almost didn't go, but Grandma Ellen convinced me to hear them out. I arrived to find not just my parents, but Michael, Jennifer, and the kids. An ambush. We need to talk about the house situation, my dad started. I stood to leave, but my mom blocked me. Please just hear us out. Their proposal was this. Since I'd proven I didn't need the house full-time by staying in my office during their occupation, and since Michael's family was suffering in their small space, wouldn't it make sense for me to embrace the digital nomad lifestyle? They'd researched everything. Co-working spaces, urban living. It's the future of work. Michael chimed in that they'd be willing to rent my house for $1,000 a month. Below market, but family discount, right? Below market. My mortgage is $1,800. Property tax, insurance, and maintenance bring it to about $2,500 monthly. They wanted me to subsidize their living while I wandered the world like a nomad. We've already talked to Olivia about having her own room again, Jennifer added. She's so excited. I looked at my parents, really looked at them. My mom was nodding encouragingly. My dad was pulling out printouts about digital nomadism. You're serious? I said. Not a question, a statement. It just makes sense, my mom said. You're single, no attachments. Michael has a family. The house is too big for one person. Then Michael should buy his own house, I said. With what money? Michael snapped. You've made sure we can't save anything with your lawsuit. With the money you spend on gaming systems, new cars, and vacations. I have a family to provide for. They deserve nice things. And I don't? Silence. That's when it hit me. Really hit me. In their eyes, I didn't deserve nice things. I was single, therefore less than. I was successful, therefore obligated to share. I was responsible, therefore expected to sacrifice. I stood up. No. Robert, be reasonable, my father started. No, I will not be a nomad. I will not rent my house below cost. I will not subsidize Michael's lifestyle. I will not sacrifice my comfort for his choices. No. My mother started crying, real tears this time. I don't understand what happened to you. You used to be such a caring boy. I still care, I said. I just also care about myself. I left. They've been blowing up my phone since. I've blocked most of them. Only Grandma Ellen remains unblocked, and she's proud of me. Yesterday, I got a letter from a lawyer. Not mine. Theirs. They're threatening to sue me for emotional distress and unlawful eviction. They claim I promised them a permanent home and reneged, causing psychological trauma to the children. My lawyer laughed when I showed him. They have no case. Countersue for damages and harassment. So that's where we are. I'm sitting in my house, in my office, drinking coffee from my coffee maker. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's mine. The garden is replanted. The walls are repaired and painted the colors I chose. My office is set up exactly how I like it. I've lost most of my family over this. They think I'm selfish, cruel, and unwilling. Maybe I am. Or maybe I'm just done being the family doormat. My therapist, yeah, I got one, says I'm establishing healthy boundaries for the first time in my life. It feels weird, uncomfortable, but also free. I don't know what the future holds. The lawsuits, the family drama, the holidays are going to be awkward as hell. But I have my house, my space, my life. And despite everything, despite the guilt trips and the manipulation and the drama, I don't regret it. This is my house. I worked for it. I paid for it. I deserve to live in it. Family helps family, they say. But family shouldn't expect you to set yourself on fire to keep them warm. And they definitely shouldn't hand them the matches. I'll update if anything major happens with the lawsuits. For now, I'm just enjoying the sound of silence in my own home. Edit. Since posting this, I've gotten messages from extended family members I haven't heard from in years, all with opinions about the situation. The family grapevine remains strong. I'm holding firm. Edit 2. To everyone asking about Grandma Ellen, she's doing great and has officially become my favorite person. She started referring to my house as Fort Independence and herself as my allied forces. She's 82 and fiercer than anyone I know.